asking way up, what do we do now to heal the root causes of the symptoms of the sore throat and the tense wakefulness during the overnights when the body is supposed to be sleeping, and also the symptoms of exhaustion and physical weakness, and also physical shakiness. What do we do now to heal the root causes of those symptoms and whatever they represent in such a way as to inspire divine miracle for planet Earth and stop the destruction for planet Earth? What do we do now? What do we do now? Well, someone way up high is talking again about the dream experiences that they were talking about earlier in the session.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking again about this whole point about people pretending that there are no consequences for their actions. And that's the thing that they keep pointing to, and they feel very much like we should be doing something more to fix that problem.
Mm-hmm.
On a larger scale, and they feel like we're wasting lots of time doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it's worth asking, how do we fix that problem?
Converge on the bad tail of the bell curve of karma. You've got to team teach.
That's true.
There's no way around it.
Exactly.
I'm not sure who's speaking, but there's no way around it. Like, this isn't rocket science.
No.
Forget about the middle of the bell curve. You've got to steer them from the edges of the bell curve. Got to show that there are consequences for actions.
That's true.
Everybody just converge on the bad tail of the bell curve of karma.
That's
we
true.
know, I'm not sure who's speaking, it might be, I'm not sure.
That's true.
We know that instant karma can be applied because it's applied on the good side of the bell curve of karma to the best of the best.
That's true.
The top, somewhat less than 2%, so we know it can be done. And just do it to the worst also to balance the tails of the bell curve of karma. And by providing instant karma to the worst of the worst, those leading the parade of destruction, it'll provide some guidance to the masses. It can be done. And we know it's happened on other planets with this level of astral lawlessness. That destruction has been stopped, so we know it can be done. And so all the arguing that it can't be done isn't credible because it's happened on other planets.
That's true.
For whom is the message, and why do you ask?
And that question goes way up high, kind of blowing holes in the sky as it goes.
And this, whoever's speaking, is reminding of all the divine presences from this dimension, this planet, who have given their all in the effort to trigger the awakening, manifest the divine plan, stop the destruction. And they've given their all, and if their sacrifices aren't enough, then what else is necessary? Are their personal sacrifices enough? We've observed it happening through these facilities.
That's true.
We know it's happened. Are those sacrifices enough for divine intervention, the hand of God, act of God, to at least start invoking instant karma or implementing instant karma for the worst of the worst, and in such a way provide guidance to the masses?
Well, it's very quiet upstairs now, but there's good energy flow moving.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can grab whatever the sore throat is and see if you just pull it out.
Just pull it up and out. That feels not like a bad idea. It feels okay. Really merging in. Intending to get all the way underneath the thing. There we go. And starting to pull it out. Whatever that sore throat represents.
Might be all the unspoken words of various guardian angels.
Exactly. It's very possible. And pulling it all the way up from underneath, pulling it all the way up. It could be all the unspoken words of guardian angels. It really could be. Pulling it all the way up out the top of the head, intending to deliver it up to wherever it's supposed to be, because it doesn't feel right to burn it. It feels like whatever the sore throat represents is something that is supposed to be somewhere. This probably just isn't the right place for it.
We're getting very cold. Is it possible to get one of those little blankies and bring it over? We're sorry we didn't address that before. We're just noticing that there was a client from this healing practice, a client of many years, one of the favorite clients, who would get very cold in sessions.
That's true.
And we never knew what to make of that because it was so different than how other people reacted.
That's true.
And we just had that happen, of getting very cold.
That's fascinating.
It was the same as the client. Her name was Nikki.
That's right.
One of our favorite clients for many years.
Well, what made her different from other clients?
I don't know the answer to that.
That's so fascinating. I don't know either.
She was very psychic, very gifted.
That's true. Did she represent a larger group?
We've spent a lot of time thinking about it and have never successfully figured it out.
No, me neither. All right. Let's keep pulling up whatever this sore throat represents. It is very quiet upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what more to be done. Asking up, what do we do now to heal the root causes of the sleep disturbances, the very tense wakefulness in the overnight? What do we do now to heal the root causes of those symptoms and whatever they represent in such a way as to inspire divine miracle for planet Earth? And what we notice when we ask that question is, I don't feel anybody within reach who has any interest in stopping the tense wakefulness or the sleep disruptions. They seem to feel like that is somehow like they're right, or that's something that they're allowed to do or they're allowed to create.
Is there anybody up higher than them who can see that that's not a healthy attitude?
Is there? I think I feel presences higher than them who can see that that's not a healthy attitude. Well, asking that presence, what do we do now to heal the root causes of the tense wakefulness, the sleep disruptions? What do we do? And whatever they represent. I don't hear anything. And that's unusual in terms of how healing sessions normally go. It is very, very quiet. The best I can figure out to do is just to pulse the really big toroid of energy up into the room, into the dimension where those highest up presences are.
Maybe this is part of Gabriel's experiment that he was running with the piano concerto.
Oh, interesting.
Player.
That's true.
It's possible.
That could be. That came up in a recent film session. Yeah, I know the thing that they're talking about. And maybe this is part of an experiment. Because nobody upstairs wants to talk about it.
No, they don't.
So maybe this is a part of some experiment that Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, is running in a higher dimension.
It has the feel of an experiment.
I can follow that.
Everybody's failing, whatever it is.
Exactly.
That's the feeling. It's like, well, everybody's failing.
Exactly.
And how am I exactly like that?
It's a reasonable question. How am I exactly like that?
Feeling like it's okay to not speak up.
That's true.
Feeling like ignoring wrongnesses is different than siding with the wrongness.
Exactly. I don't think anybody upstairs is going to help.
No, that's okay. Just send it on up to whoever's running that experiment.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go.
Here's what's happening.
Yeah, I don't think I think that's a fail.
That's true.
And to the supervisor of whoever's running the experiment, just in case.
That's very head-opening.
Because sometimes the experiment isn't what we think it is, and the participant isn't who we think it is.
Exactly.
And we find we ourselves are subjects of an experiment.
That's true.
That we didn't realize we were subjects of.
That's right. And calling all the way up through all the dimensions that are able to hear us right now, this is the last call. And so anybody who wants to take action to help, anybody who wants to take action, it feels like take action to deliver karmic consequences to the bad tail of the bell curve might be really what we're calling up for anybody who wants to do. Anybody who wants to do that, now is the chance to do that and be counted as somebody who took action toward that goal. And if you don't do it now, then it doesn't look like you're actually going to do it. And so sending that up as high as we're able to get it, so that everybody who's able to hear this will have had the chance to do it and will have been given fair warning, fair notice, so that when the consequences eventually come for not having done what they were supposed to do, there isn't going to be a fig leaf for you to hide behind, because we'll know that you have heard it, because you've been able to hear all these words so far. I'm sending that up as high as we're able to get it right now. And the sore throat just got much worse over here in this body. Sending it all the way up as high as we're able to get it right now. This is the last call. And probably this is part of some much, much larger experiment. There's always somebody bigger who's watching. And so taking a clue that's delivered, the clue of that body getting cold during the healing session, and holding it up to those higher dimension presences who are interested.
Like, look, it's happening again.
The body is getting cold.
As that other body did. Maybe it has to do with a portal opening and wind whistling through.
That's what I wonder.
Because she was so psychic. She was just beautifully psychic.
And so it might not be a bad sign, but it's a sign of something changing.
Something happening.
That
like
is
wind
true.
Whistling through.
And I feel that feeling of wind blowing. Okay, so it's possible that we're starting to feel the connection, the clarity of the connection between the message that they're delivering and between the interdimensional reality, because with that previous client of that one's healing practice who would get very cold during healing sessions, what it feels like was there was a portal opening up, an interdimensional portal opening up inside that healing session, and the wind was blowing through, whistling through, the interdimensional wind, the energy was moving through, and the client would get really cold. And in a filmed session not long ago, somebody upstairs in a higher dimension was talking about how Archangel Gabriel is in the process of running experiments, and he's been running a series of experiments. And the last thing that they said about what it is he's currently doing was that he's experimenting with opening portals. And they said he's opening time portals, and he's opening interdimensional portals in other respects. There's a lot of portals opening up. And since that body got cold during this healing session, it would stand to reason that it's somehow connected with a portal opening up, that's somehow connected with Gabriel's experiments that are currently happening.
That makes sense.
Which would make a lot of sense. And now what are we supposed to do about
what do we
that?
do?
That's an actual question.
Who wants to know
upstairs.
about this? Hey, do you guys know about this? To whoever's running the experiment and to their supervisors.
Whoosh, and then that goes way up. There we go.
somebody feels like, now I can die happy.
Yes. It's like, well, and now I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And now I can die happy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.